first card you have your past is the Ten of Wands. Right. Yes. So obviously this is struggle, big, heavy struggles. I'm actually seeing struggle leading to something that was supposed to be better, and then that turned into a struggle as well. It's like a double struggle. I'm sorry about that. That's just what I'm seeing, two struggles. And I'm seeing work or a job or some kind of something like that around this, work struggles. I'm seeing studying here as well. So I think there's something you might have studied or learned. It was a while ago when you did this, I think, and I don't think it was easy for you to do. I think you had a lot of problems, obstacles in your way while you were learning. What I'm seeing here is maybe you're not using what you learned. It's something like that. I think if you use this as a stepping stone, things might be a little bit easier for you now in your life. And I think that's what you originally planned on doing with this. But something didn't quite work out. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I'm not blaming you, but obviously if you didn't finish the study, or if you're not using it now, see if you can do that. Obviously, don't do that if that's not what you want to do. Like if you decided to study and then you realized, oh, I don't want to do this, this is horrible, then obviously don't go back and do that exact thing. But you might be able to use credits for that study for something else. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing this struggle, and you went through this struggle to get this better outcome, and it didn't actually arrive. It's again, double struggle after struggle. That's what I'm getting. So if that resonates with you, I think, and if this is something you do want to do, see if you can revisit that, revisit what you learned in some way, try and go back to that again if you can. Or see if you can use that to kind of as a stepping stone to a new thing. Because what I'm seeing here is you can improve your life now by using what you learned then in some way. So if that resonates, just see if you can have a look at that again. Just kind of open that up in your mind again and think about that again. So the next card you have your past is the Page of Cups. Okay. I hate to say this, I'm really sorry to say this, but I have to say this. It's going to sound like I'm telling you off, like I'm saying you're this terrible person. I don't think you are. If you look at this man, you can't really take him seriously, really. He's wearing all sorts of crazy colours and patterns. He looks like he's at the beach and all of that. So he's having a fun time. He's not very serious. It's a little bit like, when you see people with Hawaiian shirts down on the beach, they're having a holiday and they're a bit silly. They're not being serious. So, again, this is the message. You might not be living up to your full potential. I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm not saying you're messing around on the beach. But, what I am seeing is you're a very smart person, Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing words. So I think your intelligence is in your words, the way you use words. So I don't know if this thing you studied was to do with communication or writing or speaking, or it might be that it was about something else and you're realizing that your strengths are in those things and that wasn't what you did then. It's some realization like that. But what I'm seeing is, if this is resonating, you're very, very good at that kind of thing. You're a born communicator. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, again, this is another reminder. Try and find what your true calling is. If you don't know what it is, if you do know what it is, go after that again. Again, you're probably not doing what you should be doing. I'm seeing that again and again. Think about what gives you the best feelings, the most fulfilling feelings. That's what you need to follow. It's inside you somewhere. You just need to find that thing or revisit it again or kind of find it again. It's a bit lost inside you. Because job struggles aren't just about money, of course. They're partly that. A lot of it is that. But also they're about, your sense of self, your sense of identity. So if you've lost that sense, see if you can find that again. And I think the key is into something you might have studied once. That's what I'm getting in that card. Okay, so yeah, the next card you have, the last card you have your past is Temperance. This is fantastic. So yeah, I think it might have been, you had a lot of struggles. And maybe that's why you got a bit lost along the way. You know, I think you really rose out of a really bad situation. I think you had to take all your strength for that, to be able to rise out of that. You're probably still a little bit exhausted. Maybe this is why you're not putting everything into work right now. You know, you might not have the headspace yet, you might not have the energy yet, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, if that's how you are right now, at least think about this now. You know, at least work your way through that. Try and plan things so that when you do have the energy, when you do feel ready, you can just start kind of stepping into that. I'm talking about this a lot. I'm sorry if this doesn't resonate, but I keep on talking about this because I keep on seeing this. The feeling I'm getting around this whole thing is unfulfillment. I'm not fulfilled. I know I could do more. I know I could do something that's really at my heart. I feel as if I'm not on that path. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. So someone needs to hear that, and someone needs to go on the right path for them, because I hate seeing people feeling like that, feeling unfulfilled. So that I hope that message reaches someone that it needs to reach. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is modification, if that makes sense. Changes, trying to kind of make changes. Yeah, I'm seeing love here. I'm seeing a lot of passion here as well with these beautiful red wings. There's someone around you, there's a love connection around you. They're trying to adapt to you. And I think you're working to adapt to them as well. So it might be that you're just getting to know each other, or you're kind of adapting to their situation, they're adapting to yours. You both really care about each other. You both want to do this. Yeah, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of care here. It's really beautiful. They really, really care about you, and they want to protect you. That's the feeling I'm getting. I think they need protection as well, actually. I don't think this is something they'd be happy to admit to, but they do. They need protection. I think you know that, and I think you're protecting them. That's what I'm getting. You're protecting each other. There's something else I'm seeing here, and it's not fantastic. There's an accusation here. There's an accusation I think is being made about you. It's a false accusation. I think someone's trying to get at you. They're like a loose cannon, and they're trying to kind of gossip or talk about you. And the talk, I think, might be about... I think they're telling people that you're stopping them from doing something. You're stopping them from seeing something, or seeing someone, or having something. It's something like that. Now, they're spreading this around. I don't think you're doing this at all. And I think this person who's accusing you, deep down, they know that you're not doing this. They're just saying these things. They're putting this idea around. It's quite nasty, actually. I'm really sorry if this is happening to you. And I think the reason why I'm seeing this here in this really positive card is, you know, it's to remind you that no matter what this person says, no matter what they accuse you of, you have a really, really strong group of people around you protecting you. They're your wings. They lift you up out of any of these this kind of bad talk or accusations or nasty people. They lift you up. I'm seeing this person who is a love connection. They do that to you, which is lovely, or for you, I should say. There's also someone else who lifts you up. This is an older woman. This person really cares about you. She's not all that well. I'm seeing healing in this card. If you look at these daffodils, they're about healing. I think you can just see them on camera. So she's been through a time of needing healing. So she has some health problems. But, you know, she's very strong mentally. Very, very strong mentally. She's a lot like you in that way. Again, I'm seeing all these words. So she uses her words really powerfully. That's what you do as well. But yeah, I think you know that. I think you know you're strong. I think you also know you have these strong people around you. So focus on them. Focus on that. Focus on your strengths. Focus on these people. Focus on your path. Focus on finding yourself. And try to ignore this nastiness because you have a lot of support around you. That's the message I'm getting in that card. So the fourth card you have your present is the Queen of Pentacles. Again, look at this. This is all about care. Look at this beautiful queen. Care, protection, love. You have so many people protecting you. It might not be loads and loads of people, but it's these two key people definitely that care about you. So you're definitely not alone. I think you're protecting someone else as well, I think. And maybe this accusation might have something to do with this person you're protecting for some reason. I'm just getting that. yeah, I just want to say this again about these accusations. Ignore them. Ignore them. There's no evidence behind what they're saying. There's no point in engaging in this person, putting any energy into them. Again, focus on yourself, focus on your loved ones, focus on your path, or find the path. Don't focus on this negativity. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Page of Pentacles. Okay, again, I'm seeing this studying. It's finishing something, going back again. The pages are students. That's why I'm seeing that. And this page is a little bit unsure of himself. He's thinking, can I really do this? Can I have this coin? So I think if you do go back, you might be feeling a little bit like, oh, if I go back again, I'll be back to square one. I'll be like a student. I won't know what I'm doing. Now I'm kind of a little bit comfortable, but I'll have to be uncomfortable. So yes, you might have to be uncomfortable, but sometimes you need to be uncomfortable to get to a more comfortable place after that. So think about that as well. And this page is aspiring to do what he wants to do. He's looking up at this coin. He's like, I want this, I want this. But I'm a little bit afraid because he's kind of holding it on the tips of his fingers. I'm not sure if I should have this. So I think you probably know what you want to do. You might be a little bit afraid of going back to square one, which is what I'm seeing again. I think you also had quite a few struggles after you had finished this studying or after you did this. I'm seeing a lot of interruptions here. So however far you went, whether you finished it or not, or whatever you did, I actually think you did amazingly well for what you had to go through, because I'm seeing these struggles again, and I'm seeing them in the Temperance card as well. So yeah, really give yourself a pat on the back. It doesn't matter what stage you're at, whether you're only halfway through or whatever. I think you did very well to get to where you did go. But I think what this is telling me is I think maybe deep down you do know what your calling is. It might be that it got lost in all these struggles, all these interruptions. It might be that you know that you're going to have to go back to square one as a learner again, and you're kind of worried about that. But don't worry about that. Absolutely don't worry about that. If you know what this is, claim it as yours. Go back on that path. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to pursue what's inside you. Even if you just have to take tiny steps, it doesn't matter. And don't worry about what people think of you. If you have to go back to your studies again, you might be a mature age student. That's absolutely fine. People are very crazy sometimes. They put people in categories. They say, oh, when you're this age, you do this. And when you're that age, you get married. You might not even want to get married. And when you're at this age, you do this. And then when you're at that age, you do that. No, rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You can do whatever you want at any time. It absolutely doesn't matter. If you have the skills, if you have the passion, if this is something you want to do, you should be able to go doing it. You're not taking it away from anyone else. You should be able to do what you want. So don't think about, there might be some people who say, what do you want to do that for? There are always going to be people who do that, no matter what you do. When I was at university, there was a student there who was in, how old were they? They were kind of 29. Now that's not even old. That's nothing. But people are like, oh, that's very old to be doing that. That's ridiculous. Of course it's not old. It's crazy. People are crazy. Just ignore them if they say that to you. The other thing I'm seeing is, yeah, it's interesting to me, but it's probably not interesting to you. It might be horrible to you. This is about this accuser. So I'll try and articulate this properly. It's a little bit confusing. I'll try my best. The thing about this page is, this is springtime in this scene. So springtime's all about newness, being young, being open to things, learning things, wide-eyed. It's kind of a wide-eyed honesty. So he's looking at this coin, and it's almost as if it's the sun. And it is like the sun because it's kind of lighting up the whole sky. It's very bright, it's very golden. So I think this accuser is probably an axe. And I think you were very open with them when you were with them. You were like this page. You were open, you were talking to them, you gave them a lot of positivity, you were trying to get them to open up to you, and they weren't doing that. They were doing the opposite. So again, the message here is, if you try to speak to this person openly and, let's say you say something like, oh, can you stop spreading these accusations? They're ridiculous, they're wrong, so just stop doing that. I know what you're doing. stop doing it. I'm being upfront, I'm being honest, stop it. They would not stop it. You wouldn't get an open conversation from them. They just come back with sort of little half lies and, oh yeah, maybe one day. Oh, well, I'm not doing anything, and all lies and silly. Oh, I don't know where that came from. Oh, it's all this kind of rubbish. So, you know, again, you've been here before with them. And I keep on seeing this, warning to you, because the feeling I'm getting is that you might be tempted to go and talk to them and think that if I just talk to them, I'll tell them how I feel and they might change their mind. No, they will not. They're very, very sneaky. They're very cagey. And they're also quite a confused person as well. So just whatever you do, ignore them. Even if they're saying all sorts of rubbish, there is absolutely no evidence behind that. Please ignore it. I keep on seeing that everywhere in this reading. So the last card you have, your presence, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I'm seeing it again here. I don't want to repeat myself, but there is a big warning for someone not to confront someone, not to try to tell them to stop something, because they won't stop. They'll probably know that they've got to you. It's like, oh, this person's coming to talk to me. I've gotten to them. That's what I want. I'll make it worse, or I'll keep going. No. If you ignore them, show them that they haven't gotten to you. That's the best way to deal with this person. That's what I'm seeing here. Because with this Wheel of Fortune, it's like you've been here before with them. It's come around and around. They've done it before. And this is when you were with them. But now you're free of them. You don't have to do this again. You don't have to talk to them ever again. You are free. Just remember that. You're free of them. You don't have to deal with them again. Okay, so the other thing I'm seeing here is, again, this is a little bit about finding yourself, finding your path. You've been through a lot of very, very difficult things, a lot of struggles, a lot of problems. This is about, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but it's about putting everything you've been through, every bit of heartache, every struggle, everything into something better, something that's beneficial for you. And I keep on seeing words and writing, so that might be writing. If you look at this card, there's kind of there's a jackal and there's a snake, and they're sort of coming around underneath this wheel. And obviously both of these creatures have a kind of a negative reputation. So these are the bad things that have happened to you, and they're underneath the wheel. They're in your past, and you're up the top. You're strong. You're like this sphinx. You've got this sword here. So this is the Wheel of Fortune, where things can be turned around from something negative into something positive if you make the effort to do this. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the Temperance card as well, and that can be about a similar message. And this is what artists and musicians do, and writers, if that's what you are. They take bad experiences and they make something out of that, something better out of that. Yeah, again, words, write. I keep on seeing words and writing and speaking, some kind of communication. So yeah, use your experiences to write about something or to do something. Bring out what's inside of you, bring that out into the world. And if you share that, other people can learn from that as well. That's what I'm getting in that card. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Seven of Cups. Okay, again, this is a message again. Do not talk to this accuser. Do not talk to this ex. Don't engage with them. Don't say anything to them. If you did that, you'd be like the poor man in this card, in the dark, confused, messed up, stuck in all these crazy things, and your focus won't be on what it's supposed to be. What's behind all of this, I think, is that they're going through a lot of things themselves. I'm not making excuses for them, but their mind's very, very confused. I think it's been like that for a long time. And also I'm seeing a lot of temptations here, fantasy. So I think they struggle with reality. They chase after fantasy. It doesn't meet their expectations. And then they kind of realize what they've done. And then when they realize that, they kind of run away to the next thing. That's what I'm getting there. So I think that's what happened. I think when they're with you, they might have been tempted by someone else or something else, and they ran away from you. and they've made the decision. Now they have to live with it, and they're not happy, so they're kind of causing all these problems and all these dramas. I know this is your reading, it's not their reading, but yeah, they're always going to feel this confusion inside themselves until they realize that running away is not the answer, and they haven't realized that yet, I don't think, because the feeling I'm getting is they're in a situation, they're not happy, and they're probably about to run away again. That's what I'm getting. And they're letting all their aggressions out. They're blaming different people. They're making accusations. It's really like they're a loose cannon. They're ready to kind of run away, but they're kind of doing all these kind of erratic kind of behaviors. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have, you futures, the Ace of Wands. Fantastic. I am so happy to see this here. This is about you, and this is about you getting your energy back, getting yourself back, enthusiasm, action. Again, keep your focus well away from this axe. Do not use this energy and this action to have anything to do with them. Don't waste it on this person. Rise above whatever they say. The feeling I'm getting is they're probably going to say more and more things about you. Rise above it. Focus on where you're going. I'm actually seeing a lot of really good ideas coming into you, coming back to you actually, a lot of enthusiasm, and I think you're going to start taking action on these things. Either go back to study or start something completely new. It's some kind of action, it's some new direction, and this is exactly what you need. I'm seeing all these fantastic ideas. Look at how green this landscape is under this wand. You know, there's a beautiful green landscape with lush trees, a river running through everything, and what's at the top of this mountain's a big, beautiful castle. So yeah, I think this is when you're going to start finding your focus, pushing ahead, all this lushness, all these fertile ideas, everything like that in this greenery. And then when you have all these ideas, you're going to start taking action, and then you're going to start the climb back up to the top of this hill, and there's your castle on the top of your hill. There's your reward up there. So with this love connection that I'm seeing, yeah, they definitely want to support you. This newer love connection, not this horrible ex. They want to support you, and they'll do anything to support you. That's what I'm seeing. They might not quite understand exactly what you're going to be doing, you know, the details of what you're doing, and they might not understand, you know, all about the kind of work that you're doing, the kind of things you're doing, and the day-to-day problems you're going to go through when you do this. You know, they do care. They just have a really different set of skills and experience from you. That's what I'm seeing. So they'll definitely support you, but you might not be able to talk to them in detail about a lot of things. So if that makes sense to you, see if you can try to get some support from other people who are going through similar things to you, or, you know, at least people who understand that, or, you know, the specific area that you're in career-wise, if you can. So think about that as well, because I think you're going to have a new support network for this new thing around you to kind of just sorry about that noise, to kind of talk about ideas and, you know, think about, you know, someone who helps you a bit, who's going through the same thing. Okay, so the last card you have for your futures, the moon. Yeah, again, you're like this lobster. I don't know if you can see it. I'll move it up. So there's this lobster. That's what you're like. You're coming out of the dark water, you're coming out of this really dark time, and this really exhausting time as well. You'd already started to do that. I think you started and then you had a bit of a pause, you had a break. I think you needed some breathing space. You're very exhausted, I'm seeing. And now at this time, with this Ace of Wands and this card, you're going to be ready to start going up this hill again. Okay, so I wasn't going to say any more about this ex, but I'm seeing this again. Their words are still going to be around you for some time. I think they're still going to be accusing, saying crazy things, trying to bait you, trying to get you to jump up and talk to them and say something. Look at this dog and this wolf. They're talking, they're saying things, they're quite nasty looking. So you're going to have to get past that. See, this lobster, he's walking past them. And if he can get past them, he can go up this hill, which is where you're going. So you've got to kind of bear with that for a while and just walk past this, and once you get past it, you'll rise above it, you'll be above them. So don't engage with them, just walk past, let them do their thing and get past that. And also, you know, I'm seeing them again in this moon, because there are all these faces and moods in this moon. You know, there's like a crescent moon, there's like a sun, there's a moody face. So if you do, once again, if you do confront them, you're not going to get the truth from them. You don't know what face they're going to have. They might have this face, they might have that face, they might be hiding their face from you. You just don't know. You're not going to get any sense, any truth, anything out of them. So again, be like this lobster and just go up past these nasty dog and this wolf and get up to the top of the mountain where you belong. That's what I'm seeing in that card.